You're watching Idaho's News Channel 7. This is the news at 4.
Some people in Eagle got quite the wildlife treat the past 48 hours.
A moose made its way through some neighborhoods, surprising a few homeowners.
News Channel 7's Abby Davis talked to a couple of them about their experience. Abby?
Doug and Shira, let's just say they were a little excited about their encounter. After assessing the situation Wednesday night, Idaho Fish and Game relocated the moose this morning. But before that, he made quite the impression on those he met along the way.
And I said, it's in the loose and the police is here, so please don't get it close.
The last thing Francesca Owen and Parker Roop expected when they woke up was a moose in their backyards.
I thought it was like an elk at first, but then I saw like the horns and stuff, and it was like a moose, and I was like really shocked that there was a moose in our yard.
I was like, what? I just hardly put my pants into my shorts, and I just started going, and I say, okay, I'll be back.
The moose in question is a young bull moose between 600 and 800 pounds. He was first spotted Wednesday night on Ballantine Lane in Eagle. In Owen's case, he did some damage, particularly to a flower pot. Despite the minor destruction, Owen says just being able to see a moose was an unforgettable experience.
That was very, very nice history this morning for me. See a moose. I'm still kind of excited.
The young bull moose is now safe and away from people. The Idaho Department of Fish and Game tranquilized and moved him to the woods near Smiths Ferry Thursday morning. Regional Wildlife Manager Ryan Walraff says relocating an animal is always Plan B.
It's risk for our staff, it's risk for the animal, it's the risk for potentially having a road collision if they decide to get on a dead run and get out of there.
They hope an animal is just moving through an area, but in this case, Walraff says the moose wasn't returning to the wild anytime soon.
Just with the fact that where it was in residential area and wasn't really going anywhere in the last 24 hours, big distances in the right direction, and being close to high-speed roads. That was why we made the decision to translocate this moose.
After tranquilizing the moose, the crew used a specialized tarp and a lot of muscle to lift and carry the animal to a trailer. Once the moose was safely inside, they reversed the effects of the tranquilizer and the moose quickly got back on its feet.
You're so cute.
This is the second moose Fish and Game has relocated in 3 weeks in the Treasure Valley. The last moose they dealt with in this area was back in 2019. So why two in such a short period of time? Walrath says it's really just a guessing game.
We can speculate as much as we want as to where they came from and stuff, but in the end, we don't really know.
It doesn't matter to Owen. She's just glad the moose paid her a visit.
That was one of those beautiful experiences to see animals.
Walraff told me bear season is also here, so make sure you are gearing up for that. Now, if you see a wild animal and are concerned, you should either call Fish and Game or your local sheriff's office. Doug and Shira.
A lot of good advice there, but that moose just kind of made a moose steak, if you will, right?
It did. What was it going to do?
He got his directions mixed up.
Yeah,
mixed up,
just
right?
a bit.
Oh, Shira.
All right, thanks, Abby.